On today's Saturday news, Vince McMahon recently underwent life-altering spinal surgery.
Rey Mysterio was injured on last night's SmackDown.
CM Punk reportedly wants one specific AEW star to be a collider.
And an update over the Elite's contract status. Are you ready? Are you ready for the news time? My name is Phil Chambers and I'm joined by Gareth Morgan to talk all things wrestling news. But what have we got up first?
Vince McMahon's back's in a bad way, or at least it was. His spine. There we go. Because he's had surgery, and this all dropped yesterday. It was really out of nowhere. No one really knew this was going down. But he had an issue with it, with his spine, and apparently he was under the knife for 5 hours getting it fixed last week, and he's been at home recovering ever since that. Obviously, he's not really been anywhere near WWE for the last couple of days, so it was the SmackDown after that, it was this week's Raw, and you've probably got to believe he probably wasn't at this week's SmackDown, though I don't think that's been properly confirmed yet, but this was all originally confirmed by TMZ, and then Fightful Select, they offered an update, and they'd said that he's now recovering, but it was a biggie. It was a life-changing surgery, and it's pretty intensive, and we just don't really know what that's going to mean for the future now going forward. With Vince, there's been no real updates on that. It was said, like I said, that he wasn't at Raw. On top of that, Triple H wasn't at this week's Raw, so Bruce Pritchard pretty much ran the entire thing. Triple H is expected to come back, though, imminently, but it just wasn't really explained why he wasn't at Raw as well, so don't really know what's going to go down with Vince. Obviously returned in January after retiring in disgrace amid all the sexual misconduct allegations, all that kind of stuff, and now it's looking like we don't really know what's going to happen with the future. It's a big surgery by the sounds of it, but he did influence Raw. I believe it was not this week's Raw, the week before's Raw. He had a massive influence on that because he was the one who started pushing for everyone's names to be, have alliteration in them. Yeah, alliterative, that's the word, alliterative. Dirty Dom, Big Bronson, all that kind of stuff. And Great Gareth is here to report it.
Yeah, that's not the word I would have chosen. But yeah, this is interesting news. I'm not surprised that he needs back surgery after his career. Let's face it, the things he's done to himself over the years. He's not exactly a guy to rest up, is he, either? So, not surprised he needs it. But it's weird that it's been completely kept a secret and it's only just kind of popped out now. Now that it's actually happened, but 5 hours seems like a hell of a long surgery.
Yeah.
No idea what this means going forwards, whether he's going to be out for ages, whether he's going to be most likely working from his hospital bed, because let's face it, it's spent time at the end of the day. But we'll have to wait and see, I guess. But yeah, interesting stuff. Just strange one that it's all been kept so quiet and then ran up.
It's just not going to stop him, is it, though? Let's be honest.
No, God, no. Absolutely. But speaking of injuries and things, on SmackDown last night, Rey Mysterio got injured. Now, there was a bit of confusion over this when it first happened as to whether it was sort of storyline or not. Basically, he was in a match with Santos Escobar for the United States title tournament thing. Then the winner was going to go on to face Austin Theory. So Escobar did a dive to the outside, and then they cut to commercial, and everything seemed fine. But when they came back from commercial, Rey Mysterio was in the corner, and he was being seen to by some medical professionals. And then they called the match off, announced Santos Escobar as the winner. And that was that, pretty much. So straight afterwards, people were saying that, it's just a storyline thing. And then, Sean Ross Sapp deleted his tweet and said he's having conflicting reports. And then he did another tweet just saying that after speaking with additional sources, we've learned that the Mysterio injury was not storyline as originally suggested. Santos Escobar was scheduled to go over clean, and there was also to be a backstage segment follow-up that also got nixed. And then, due to the actual injury to Rey Mysterio, they had to cancel all these things and change all these plans. So it's unfortunate, it's an odd one. We don't quite know what the injury is yet, whether it's just a little thing or whether it's going to be something deeper, who knows. But we wish Rey, obviously, the very best. He's an absolute legend. He's incredible. And we want him back to full health as soon as possible. So yeah, good luck and a speedy recovery to Rey.
Yeah, and he's not had a lot of luck, really, has he, with injuries? I think he's this year alone, I think he had something at the start of the year with the Royal Rumble. So
yeah. I think he tweeted 3 days ago or something as well that it was 21 years since his WWE debut.
Crazy. Absolutely crazy.
A really long time as Rey Mysterio, and it's genuinely incredible how he can still go like he does at his age. It's like one of those weird mysteries in wrestling that I just can't quite figure out how he can still go at the top of his game like he is.
Yeah, like I was listening to Logan Paul's podcast with Seth Rollins on it recently, and he was saying how his body is absolutely battered at this point. And then he was like, I just look over at Rey Mysterio, and I'm like, what? How is he still going at this level? And yeah, we just wish him the best, really, because absolute icon, doesn't even begin to cover it, and the fact he's still doing it in that match alone. There's some of the stuff he was doing. He was like flipping over the top rope. Like nearly 50.
The Hurricane Rana that went through the ropes and was still on his shoulders when he came to the outside. It's like, this is incredible.
Yeah, a freak of nature. And speaking of freaks of nature, CM Punk. Let's talk about him, because he wants somebody else to join Collision. He's creating this little family right now at Collision, and it's been quite a fun little family adventure thing that we're watching on Saturdays every week. I'm quite enjoying it. And he wants Rush now to apparently join up with the Saturday Night Delight that is Collision, and that's according to the Wrestling Observer newsletter, the latest edition of that. And Meltzer's been saying that Punk's been pushing for this guy, this newly re-signed Rush superstar, to become a Collider in the not too distant future. He took to Instagram after Rush signed that new contract, and he publicly put above that, he put Collider. He wants him. He's very much making it known that he wants him to be a part of the gang, part of the team. But within this kind of report, this update, Meltzer also added in the Observer, he said that somebody in WWE said that Rush was offered insane money to remain with Tony Khan's promotion, and it was that fact, which resulted in WWE never officially making an offer for the ROH World Champion. And on top of this, WWE was said to be interested in potentially bringing Rush in as a part of NXT, but they knew if they did bring him into NXT, they were going to have to offer him a bigger deal than just about anybody else on the brand that isn't called Gable Stevenson, due to the money that he would have been offered at AEW, because like I said, it was going to be insane money. So they just didn't even bother trying. They were like, oh, he's getting offered that much, what's the pipe? We're not going to go near this guy. And he's now 100% AEW, and it looks like it could be a space for him on Saturday nights, because Mr. Phil Brooks likes the look of him, and he goes, that guy, I want to see that guy knee some people in the faces on my show.
Yeah, interested about this one. I think they've only scratched the surface about what they can do with Rush in AEW. But I did like the WWE detail when they just, find out how much he was on. It's like, let's not even bother. We're not going to much back. Tony Khan is throwing some money around. Yeah. And speaking of throwing some money around, I assume he's going to be throwing quite a lot of money at the Elite. Now, there's been a lot of speculation over their contract status within AEW. And what they would be doing when their contracts run out. The deals for Omega and the Bucks end at the end of this year, and it's also believed that Hangman Page is also in contract talks at the minute as well. But a report has come from the Wrestling Observer newsletter who says they will be staying in AEW when their contracts run out. Now, there's not been any significant progress in negotiations for quite a while now, and there's been a lot of speculation about it, obviously, as to where they would go. And then after Blood and Guts, Omega cut that promo afterwards that was kind of initially supposed to be televised, but then wasn't televised, and it's all a bit strange. But they said that like the Elite would be sticking together, and then the way he worded it kind of caused more speculation about what they would be doing. But it turns out that wasn't the intent of that promo at all. And they will be staying with AEW when their contracts run out. Now, Shoma Sup had a slight additional bit to this as well, where he was just replying to someone on Twitter, saying basically about a lot of people in contract negotiations and why nothing's been happening recently. And Shoma Sup says, I can't say definitively, but a whole lot of wrestlers in WWE and AEW have told me they're waiting to see new TV deals before even trying to talk. So it seems like they want to wait until the big companies get their big money deals out of the way, and then their contract negotiations will be in a much stronger point going forwards, because they'll know that they are backed by quite a lot of TV money, which is a wise move, I would say. But it does look like the Elite will be staying as the E in AEW, which is probably a good move.
Yeah, completely agree. It would have just been pretty awkward more than anything else if the Elite left all Elite Wrestling, because then it's just all wrestling, and it's
no Elite Wrestling.
Very odd. I think there's just a lot with this situation right now. It does seem to constantly be getting details added to it that just kind of change your perspective ever so slightly. Like we'd heard Cody had been talking to the Young Bucks, I believe, more than ever before, really, like since leaving AEW. So that was a thing where I was like, oh, is he trying to like kind of bring them over, do all that kind of stuff? But then this update just makes it pretty clear that they are going to be staying put, which is fantastic. I want to see I want to see the team in general just be used a little differently. I mean, I want to see Omega maybe back in singles a bit more, Hangman get a bit more attention, the Bucks just go about being an absolute tag team epic unit right now again, because all those divisions need the Elite to kind of be doing their thing and maybe not just be clustered together and having team wars with people.
Yeah.
So
as far as like the Elite story has gone, I think it's served its purpose and it's run its course a little bit now. And if you just let them separate out a little bit, I think you'll be able to get it back together at some point when you need to go back to that. But yeah, it's been going a long time now, and I think it's time for something a little bit different, a little bit of a change.
Yeah, you don't have to scrap it. Just come back to it a little later down the road and just let them do the thing. You've done it before, do it again, and I'd be happy for that. And I hope they all get paid, because that's what they need. That's what they deserve. Get some money.
Absolutely. But thank you very much for watching. You can follow us over on Twitter. You can follow me at FillMyChambers.
You can follow me on X at GMorgan04.
Nope, never gonna call it that. But also click this video that is here it is. Click this video, keep on watching more videos, because that's what YouTube likes, and have yourselves a bloody good day.
Bye bye.